What's up, everybody, and welcome to my AEW Dynamite review, Bridgeport, Connecticut. A lot of things stacked on this show tonight, I should say, especially with a lot more build going into Revolution in the next week or two. So, what do we got to, I don't know, kick off this show and whatnot? We start off with a tag team battle royale in a triple, well, whoever will get a spot in the triple threat, tag team title match, but basically teams from the Young Bucks to FTR to Red Dragon to Everrise to Private Party to the Best Friends to Santana and Ortiz, the Gun Club. All those guys were basically out there. Even of course managers, Cutler and Tully Blanchard, Matt Hardy, and Billy Gunn. Honestly, it's kind of hard to say who was really eliminated from here and there, and even as spots with Orange Cassidy kind of get involved. The Dark Order's out there, they're getting eliminated quickly. Honestly, a lot of these teams didn't really matter in the first few minutes. It was good to see the Butcher and the Blade, well, the Butcher back with the Blade. We haven't seen the Butcher in a while, which I gotta say, the Butcher's in way better shape than what he once was, like about a year or two ago. So, got to give him credit for that. But, I don't know, man. It's like a lot of this, it's like when you get to the final like 4 or 5 teams, that's when it starts to really matter. Especially once you because even if your partner gets eliminated, you're still in a match. But when it kind of came to like the teams of Red Dragon or the Bucks or FTR, which saw the fans did pop FTR and the Bucks, but what Beretta's still in there. I think John Silver and Santana, which O'Reilly ended up being eliminated. What Matt Jackson, basically taking him out, and Santana and Trent being taken out. Then also by I think the Bucks. The final four I know was Matt Jackson, Kyle O'Reilly, Hardwood, Dax Hardwood, and John Silver. I know Fish helped eliminate Hardwood, basically kicking him and whatnot outside. Um, Matt Jackson and O'Reilly started working together to get rid of Silver, but as they were trying to eliminate him, O'Reilly ended up taking both of them out, which Red Dragon won the match then, so they are going to be in the spot for the tag team titles and stuff. Right after the Bucks started arguing with Red Dragon, then Hangman Page came out and basically took out Red Dragon, which the Bucks just stood there and watched, so he ended up helping the Bucks. But Adam Cole came in, tried to take out Hangman Page, but Page got him, tried to go for the buckshot lariat, but it did not work. Red Dragon got him out of there as basically Page had took a chair and sat down then, because I know he did hit O'Reilly with a buckshot lariat after Silver threw him back in, but Page started cutting a promo on the Undisputed Era, and that was time for story time with Adam Page, baby. Which Page basically sat down, talked about how Cole, 2008, how he came in and he wants to become a world champion, and that the world's going to be crumbling around him and whatnot right now. And that Cole went to, he's going to go to AEW Revolution, and the other Adam, the better Adam, is going to put Cole into the ground, 6 feet and whatnot. And then, it's going to be a lot of dirt, and it's going to be a sound of boom, and, that buckshot is going to be, cocked and buckshot loaded and stuff. So Page ended up flipping him off then. One of the better Hangman Page promos, I'll say, at least this time, with a little bit more, I would say a little bit more confidence in it, because I feel like Page's promos lately just kind of been here and there and whatnot. But this was one of the better promos. I know they had the Jungle Express watching the whole thing the entire time till they left, but come on, I kind of figured Red Dragon was going to win this. And then what they're doing, a Casino Battle Royale next week. Expect the Young Bucks to win that also, and expect the Bucks, Red Dragon, and the Jungle Express to go for the tag team titles at Revolution. So we all know that's going to happen. Danielson was cutting a promo talking about, Daniel Garcia, how he's like a younger version of himself, and that, Brian had William Regal as a mentor at one point, but, he said that 2.0 is doing nothing with Garcia, and talk about John Moxley. He said they had to bleed together, to team together, but why don't you watch, he wants an answer tonight after the match with Garcia. MJF came out then, basically kind of promo talking about CM Punk. Talking about CM Punk. Basically, MJF, almost like a life story. And man, you would have thought this was a face promo. Basically, this is a promo to, that's fueling the hatred of how Punk let him down. So why he even hates CM Punk more. But by God, it was almost like a face promo he did out here. Basically talking about he's not the easiest guy to like. But he talked about the photo he had with Punk back then. And that, people don't understand his upbringing. He lived for pro wrestling just like everything else. And talk about how he had ADHD as a child and whatnot. And how him and, like, I guess 2 Jewish kids that were trying to get to the varsity football team, and how he got that spot, but then the teammates basically, taunting him at school, throwing quarters at him, beating him up, and how he tried to make friends and stuff, but it did not work for him. They called him a Jew boy and stuff, and how he talked about how he went home and he cried, but he said this was going to be a better day because he was going to meet his hero. He was going to meet CM Punk, and it meant the world to him and whatnot. He wanted to be CM Punk, and as he got older, he got faster, stronger, football scholarships, offers coming all his way, but he wanted to be a pro wrestler. He wanted to be like CM Punk. And he talked about everything, how he trained, how he cut promos in the mirror, watched tapes, just learned everything he could to be where he can get until his voice went out, and talked about, until Punk left in 2014, January it was. And when he needed him most, MJF, he went to college and everything and stuff. And then he saw a photo on Instagram of him and Danielson shaking hands. And, he was pissed then because, he promised that he would become the best in the world, even with CM Punk leaving and stuff. And, he said, he bowed, he said he wouldn't, leave a bullied fan high and dry like Punk did and whatnot. And talked about, he says he will bleed buckets, he'll take the whips, he'll take the beating, he'll take all this, but he will not quick because he knows he's better than Punk. As Punk came out, basically said, is that true? Is that true? And just stared at him as MJF walked out. So hell of a fucking promo from MJF. Like I said, this is one of the best things of the night was the MJF promo. By God, you thought this man would have been a face out there cutting that promo. Yeah, sure, there's a South Park joke waiting to happen here and there, especially, a lot of Jewish comments and whatnot. So you already know it's a South Park joke waiting to happen. But MJF fucking put his soul into this promo, okay? His motherfucking soul came out into that. And I even kind of sat there like, man, this would have been a great face promo and whatnot. But this is just, like I say, it's to fuel the hate he has for CM Punk and stuff. So, it's just giving them a reason, especially going to this dog collar match. But hell of a promo. Next, Malachi Black and Brody King went against Pac and Pentagon Dark, which, Pentagon Dark basically had a shovel burying, I guess, the old Pentagon. So Pentagon Dark was back, back again, Lucha Underground style. All you need is Vampiro there, which, it was a good match. Black tried to spit the miss. I swear the fans don't know whether to cheer Pentagon or Alistair out there, but, Black tried to spit the miss. Penta covered him and rolled him up for the 3 count. But next thing you know, Brody King attacked both of them after that. They start beating up, Pentagon and Pac and even his manager. But then the lights go out, and then when the lights go back on, Buddy Mathews shows up. Buddy did a big Buddy chant, fans chanting holy shit. So big pop for him. Showing up, making his debut in AEW, which I don't know if this was the best way to do it, which was great, but it's kind of crazy. You bring Pentagon Dark back, the darker version of Pentagon and stuff. If people watch Lucha Underground and stuff, you know who he is, and, saw how that big that goes, but you brought in a debut Buddy Mathews to beat the shit out of him after you just kind of brought this, yeah, Pentagon got the win, but it kind of just shoots the whole thing down then. It's like you bring, like, this other gimmick just to damn to have somebody else kill the fucking gimmick then and stuff. Which then, Mathews is looking at Pac then, and then, he basically stomped his head into the chair. So that happened from there, and, the House of Black, everything went black and they disappeared. So, Buddy Mathews is a good pick, good for him. People were wondering when AEW is ever going to sign him. And listen, I'm going to say this right here. Everybody in AEW that they sign, they got to stop calling everybody a fucking game changer, okay? Everyone's not a game changer to everyone they sign. They got some names I'll admit are some game changers, but like, and I like Buddy Mathews, but even, and I think he should have got a better spot than what he did in WWE, because I'll admit maybe the guy probably should have became Intercontinental Champion there. And, we can go back to the whole Seth thing, and I've already discussed this before with the Seth thing, and, the whole feud with the Mysterios and the Eye, and, people want to bring out the Aaliyah thing, but it's like I said before, she was over 18, so people need to stop bitching about that. Shit like that happens all the time, okay? She's above age. Shut the fuck up and stop bitching, all right? So people need to stop complaining about that. But like I said, Buddy Mathews, the last time I really seen the guy wrestle, and I haven't really followed him much on the indies, but I saw the match with Okada, and that was great. So it's a good pickup and everything. So good for Buddy Mathews making his debut tonight on AEW. I feel like it's a debut every other week in that, but let's see if the ratings go back up. If they go back up from that spot, um, you know, Lady Kingston came out then. This is probably the next best thing out of the entire night. Kingston came out as security was in the ring. Chris Jericho came out. Of course, everybody sings along with Judas, which I'll say about Chris Jericho. At least the guy's been working his ass off, and I can't call him fat anymore. So he's actually in shape this time for real this time, okay? But Kingston, after everybody sang Jericho's song, all right, that's enough of massaging ego and everything. As Kingston said, you know why you got all these security here? And Jericho says, we're going to talk like men and act like some common street thugs and stuff. And even Kingston, saying like, you don't know nothing about no street thugs, all right? So I don't know what you're talking about. And then he says, why are we even doing this? He says, tell Tony Khan to get Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale. I think she's from Ring of Honor, if I'm not mistaken. To have a match. We want wrestling company. We're not a sports entertainment company that's up the road or up the block and stuff. So we'll go over there. Of course, the fans chant Kingston because, hey, they got to take shots at WWE every chance that they can get. And yeah, I guess they're not far from, Stanford and whatnot. But Jericho said, yeah, we're not far from there. Let me give you some sports entertainment, okay? Something that's actually entertaining. And listen, man, we talked about you coming to AEW and people were excited. Jericho was excited. I say you're going to be like the next big faces around here, okay? And I've never heard of you before. You look like a jobber. That's why, they weren't looking for you. But I saw something in you, he said. And yeah, you went against that guy, but I heard that promo and you become like I said, a big thing. And yes, you did get signed. You made it to the big time after all, getting past the limitations, but you didn't get here to the age of 38 years old, okay? It took you that long, huh? And, everyone's happy, but I'm not happy for you, okay? I don't give two shits about you and your sob story. And Jericho talked about, listen, man, you didn't make it to the big time to this time. I've been to big time since 22 years old, as he said. And said that Kingston is jealous of him. And, you're not on my level and everything. And Jericho talked about, he's been all over the world, made a lot of money, multiple world titles and whatnot. And Kingston said, you want a cookie for your accomplishments and stuff. Like, the only reason why you in the main event, because, I wasn't here. You just leech out people and die and everything. You suck the blood out of all the young guys in the back. My blood's for you too tough to suck out, though, he was going on to say. He said he wanted to fight, and Kingston challenged him at the pay-per-view. But Jericho says, yeah, I will challenge you. I'll answer your question, but I'm going to ask you this question because you got a phobia and everything because I know your story and whatnot. But Kingston said you need to stop right there. Jericho talked about, your uncle was your hero, but he became a failure. Your dad was a hero, but he became a failure. And that you can't win the big one, okay? And Jericho says, like, the A and AEW, I'm the big one around here, okay? I'm everything. I was the first ever champion. I'm the one that started this revolution, all right? I did. You can't win the big one. And listen, if you can't beat me, I'll shake your hand and show you the utmost respect and everything and say that you did it. But Kingston says, I want the real Chris Jericho, not the Mimosa Jericho, not fighting Pocket Man Jericho, not getting pushed off a cage by MJF Jericho. I want the first AEW World Champion. I want the man that bled buckets in Tennessee. I want the guy that had wars with Tenyu in War Promotion that turned WCW upside down, and that's your close friend Levesque or Triple H hated and stuff. That's the real Chris Jericho I want to see, because if that Jericho don't show up, you're going to get eaten alive. But the fans, like I said, pro Eddie Kingston out there chanting his name. But Jericho says, I can see your eyes. You don't believe you can beat me. And you won't win the big one, okay? Because I am the big one. Now play my music and go. So once again, probably the next best promo segment out tonight. Like I said, the promos were killing it tonight. Between MJF and the Jericho and Kingston one, that was knocked out of the park. That was great. So that was good. Matt Hardy and, Andrade, I guess, made some matches for, Revolution. That Andrade, Cassidy, and Matt Hardy versus Sting, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara coming up. So they're going to do that. Ricky Starks went against 10 to see who's going to be in the ladder match, which is kind of crazy. Starks makes it in, and like, man, you got all these giants in here, from Keith Lee to Wardlow to Powerhouse Hobbs, and I look at, yeah, I'll even say 10's even bigger than Starks, and I figured Starks was gonna win. And listen, 10, he's got some potential. Okay, maybe needs a name change and stuff, but the guy's pretty big. He doesn't look bad. It's just the gimmick he's in is this Dark Order stuff, and it's not going anywhere for him. Okay, the Dark Order is not really helping him. All right, so he has some potential. It's just he just needs a gimmick change. Um, Red Dragon, well, Undisputed Era and the Bucks starting to argue with each other again. Cole trying to get everything together. Some would say they sound like some South Park guys that stand in front of the bus stop arguing, which is kind of true. Jay Cargo went against the Bunny, who got a jobber's entrance out there. Jade being 27-0 right now. Of course, they got her kid out there watching the match. Obviously, Jade was going to win this. I know Matt Hardy and Matt Sterling. Sterling tried to get involved. Smart Mark Sterling, but they tried to get involved, giving what was it, the Bunny some brass knuckles, but Jade used her title to block the brass knuckles then and hit the Jade for the win. Good match though, one of the better ones. Jade got in the microphone then, basically said, who's left, huh? I'm 28-0 around here. Tay Conti showed up then and basically said, I'm going to beat your ass, bitch. Which Jade said at Revolution. Which Conti came in and tried to go for Cargo. Bunny, which, by the way, Bunny gets her ass kicked 2 times tonight by Jade and now Conti and stuff. And then Jade put, took down Conti with a kick. And then Jade came out with a chair, which, honestly, listen, the Jade's not bad, okay? But even I had to laugh. I said, like, this is what we got. This is a joke. You're going to put her against Jade at Revolution. I'm thinking it's going to be a bigger name like a lot of other people I know. But, come on. Like, come on. You ain't got nobody else for Jade, especially Revolution with this stat card y'all got coming. That's all you got? Come on. I don't know. Keith Lee was being interviewed. Stark showed up. I guess damn near challenged him, saying we run things around here. In the main event, Bryan Danielson went against Daniel Garcia. Very good match. Garcia, like I said, the guy you would say is a jobber to the stars. And he has all these good matches, but he needs some wins at the same time. But even Danielson, told Garcia, which, like I said, I like how he just does that submission, goes from the stomping on the leg. Well, not the leg, but stomping in his head and stuff. And then just put into that triangle sleeper and then just kind of posing doing this. That just looks fucking cool, okay? And Danielson told Garcia, though, this is exactly what he wanted to see. That's the violence, all right? Is Garcia violent enough and whatnot? Everrise tried to attack him after. Moxley's music came out while, Moxley came out while his music is still playing. Beating up the 2.0 guys, which I'm sure it's going to be a lot of Stone Cold references of him wearing a freaking Skull t-shirt and the music still playing. And whatnot. But Danielson got the chair from him. Moxley hit him with the Death Rider on Garcia. Moxley looked at Danielson. Danielson says, I want to answer and everything. But he said, we need to bleed together. But I don't need this chair, okay? You want to match a Revolution? As the fans are chanting, yes, it's only going to be one person bleeding. So they will face each other. And people, please don't say it's a fucking dream match. Because they've already faced each other in WWE. So please don't try that. But I am looking forward to that match. Like I said, Revolution looks like a very stacked card coming up. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, that's going to be a big show, and they got a lot of things stacked up for it, so we'll see what happens. Obviously, the best things out tonight was the MJF promo and the Eddie Kingston and Jericho promo. That was really the best things of the night. Very good promo game right there. So, yeah. But other than that, though, not a bad episode, I will say. Like I said, the Battle Royale was all over the place. Starks getting the match just to get in the match. I enjoyed Garcia and Danielson, not bad. Even Jade and the Bunny wasn't bad, but man, they really just jobbing out the Bunny right there, even getting the jobber's entrance, okay? So, like I said, not a bad show tonight. Pretty good. I would say a little bit better than last week. So, other than that, that is my review of Dynamite tonight. So, yeah, I'm out here. Comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. I'll see you guys then. Peace.